Ngayon, balik tayo dun sa retaining wall. Let's say maglagay tayo dito ng sensor. Ngayon, ang kukunin niya ay yung pressure vertical or the stress in the vertical direction, tsaka yung pressure in the horizontal direction. Remember that pressure or stress is in terms of force per area. Yung force is in terms of kilonewton and then the area is in terms of square meter or that is kilopascal. So ang pressure natin, merong vertical tsaka merong horizontal. And lateral earth pressure is related to the vertical earth pressure by a coefficient termed as at-rest earth pressure coefficient, or that is K sub O, active earth pressure coefficient, or K sub A, and passive earth pressure coefficient, or K sub P. Itong tatlo refers to the three lateral earth pressures, which are passive, at rest, and of course, you have the active. The lateral earth pressure, sigma H, is equal to the vertical earth pressure or sigma V times the appropriate earth pressure coefficient, or this equation. Yung K, yan yung coefficient. The earth pressure coefficient K is equal to the ratio of the lateral earth pressure, sigma H, to vertical earth pressure, sigma V. Or K is equal to horizontal all over vertical. Ayan. So, horizontal or all over vertical. K depends on the type of horizontal loading. Is the soil at rest, under compression, or passive, or under tension, or active? Depending upon whether the soil is loose sand, dense sand, normally consolidated clay, or over-consolidated clay, there are published relationships that depend upon the soil's engineering values for calculating the at-rest earth pressure coefficient. One common earth pressure coefficient for the at-rest condition in granular soil is K sub O is equal to 1 minus sine phi, where K sub O is the at-rest earth pressure coefficient and phi is the soil friction value or angle of internal friction. Now let's talk about the active and passive earth pressure coefficients K sub A and K sub P. When discussing active and passive lateral earth pressure, there are two relatively simple classical theories that are widely used. So we have Rankine earth pressure theory and Coulomb earth pressure theory. Sa Rankine earth pressure theory, it is known as the maximum to normal stress theory. It is developed in 1857 by William John McCorn Rankine. It is a stress field solution that predicts active and passive earth pressure. It assumes that the soil is cohesionless, the wall is frictionless, the soil-wall interface is vertical, the failure surface on which the soil moves is planar, and the resultant force is angled parallel to the backfill surface. So, the contact between the wall and the soil is assumed to be frictionless. And then, itong contact plane niya is vertical. Tapos, itong diagonal plane or yung failure plane is planar or flat. It assumes that failure will occur when the maximum principal stress at any point reaches a value equal to the tensile stress in a simple tension specimen at failure. It assumes a frictionless soil wall interface and a vertical wall or no wall slope. The Rankine theory assumes that there is no adhesion or friction between the wall and soil. Lateral pressure is limited to vertical walls. Failure in the backfill occurs as a sliding wedge along an assumed failure plane defined by phi. So yung sliding wedge na yan, eto yon. Tapos yung angle of internal friction phi is eto. It is the angle formed by the failure plane to the horizontal. Lateral pressure varies linearly with depth and the resultant pressure is located 1/3 of the height. Take note na yung centroid ng triangle is 1/3 above the base of the wall. The resultant force is parallel to the backfill surface. Next is the Coulomb earth pressure theory. It is similar to Rankine except that there is friction between the wall and soil and takes this into account by using a soil wall friction angle of delta that ranges from phi all over 2 to 2/3 of phi, and delta is equal to 2 phi all over 3 is commonly used. Lateral pressure is not limited to vertical walls, and the resultant force is not necessarily parallel to the backfill surface because of the soil wall friction value delta. The Rankine pressure coefficient for a horizontal backfill surface is calculated as follows. K sub A is equal to 1 minus sine phi divided by 1 plus sine phi. And then passive coefficient or K sub P is equal to yung inverse nito. 1 plus sine phi divided by 1 minus sine phi. The Coulomb active and passive earth pressure coefficient is derived from a more complicated expressions that depends on the angle of the back of the wall and the soil wall friction value and the angle of backfill. Sa madalit sabi, ang pinagkaiba ni Rankine tsaka si Coulomb is yung kay Rankine yung wall ay vertical, and then kay Coulomb yung wall ay merong angle. Kagaya nito, may mga angle siya. Now let's review the figure for active pressure. So kapag active, merong soil tension or extension, and the wall moves away from the soil. And then kapag passive, yung soil undergoes compression, tapos yung soil bumubukol sa ibabaw, and then the wall moves towards the soil. And then yung angle of internal friction or phi, yan yung angle that the failure plane or shear plane develops with the horizontal. Ayan, yung phi. Okay? This is known as the angle of internal friction or simply soil friction. So, balik tayo dun sa wall, sa retaining wall. Ngayon, itong wall na ito is walang movement. Ibig sabihin, yung ibabaw niya hindi bubukol pataas, hindi rin bumaba. Yung wall, hindi siya nag-move away, hindi rin siya nag-move towards the soil. Or this is known as at rest condition or simply no movement. Let's say yung soil density or unit weight of soil is 16 kilonewton per cubic meter. And then yung height ng wall is 3 meters. So yung vertical pressure, okay, dun sa baba, or let's say that is sigma V. Let's say this is height times the unit weight of soil, or that is 16 times 3, that is equal to 48. Okay, and then let's say the horizontal pressure is also the same, 16 times 3. As we have lectured, the earth pressure coefficient is equal to horizontal stress all over vertical stress, which is this. Okay, so the at-rest coefficient is horizontal or over vertical. So this is equal to 48. 48 all over 48 is equal to 1. So in this case, walang movement yung soil. Your K sub O is equal to 1. Now let's look at the movement ng soil. Okay? So, yung movement ng soil, meron tayong active, the wall moves away from the soil, and then meron ding passive displacement, yung wall moves towards the soil. Pero in this case, ang sabi natin, at rest, kaya ang displacement delta L is equal to 0. Ayan siya. Okay, so delta L, let's take this as delta L, simply delta L lang, is equal to 0 times H. Kaya ang displacement niya ay 0. And then, maglagay tayo ngayon dito ng diagram, ano? So, etong vertical axis niya, let's take this as the K value. Okay? Tapos, ito yung direction ng movement. Kapag extension or tension, ang tawag dito ay active pressure. Okay? So, extension meaning yung wall will move away from the soil. So, pag ganito yung direction, ano? And then, kapag yung wall moves towards the soil and then it undergoes compression, ganito yung direction ng wall. Okay? So, ayan yung figure natin. So, dito sa gitna, between extension and compression, walang displacement. So, ang value ng K natin dito ay 1. Ngayon, let's say, nag-move yung wall. Okay? Nag-move yung wall away. Okay? And then, yung vertical pressure niya, let's say, remains the same, ano? It remains 48. Okay? From at rest to active, 48 pa rin. Pero, ang kanyang displacement is horizontal. So, nagkaroon tayo ng soil tension dito or the wall moves away. Kaya, ang tendency nun, yung horizontal stress mo from 48, lumit siya ng 9.6. Kaya, in this case, ang coefficient mo ngayon or K sub A is horizontal or all over vertical. This is now 9.6 divided by 4.8. Ang coefficient natin ay 0.2. Okay, so that is equal to 9.6 divided by 48 or that is 0.2. Ayan. So, ang K sub A natin ay 0.2. Kaya, yung coefficient natin from 1, bumaba siya ng 0.2. Take note na yung displacement natin ay extension. Now, i-move pa natin yung wall further. In this case, let's say yung vertical pressure natin the same pa rin. Ibig sabihin, hindi nagbago yung height ng soil, ano? Pero, yung displacement natin, mas lumaki. Okay? From yung coefficient na natin na 0.2, let's say yung displacement, horizontal displacement or delta L active is 0.01 H. Ngayon dito, nag-move pa ng konti yung wall to the sense na naging 0.015 H. Or this is 45 millimeter. And to compute that, 0.015 times 3,000. Kasi yung H natin ay 3 meters. So, ayan, 45 mm. So, mas malaki yung kanyang displacement. Okay, so, ang tanong, bakit sa at rest, originally 48, tapos nung naging tension na, naging 9.6, tapos dito 14.4, okay, tapos dito 19.2, yan. Lumiit siya, naging less than 48. Bakit ganun? let's say, ang force ng tension ay negative and then ang force ng compression is positive. Ibig sabihin, kapag compression, lalong lumalakas. Okay? And then, ito, tension, nagiging negative siya, parang negative compression. So, in this case, ang K sub A natin is 14.4 divided by 48 is now 0.3. Okay? So, now let's look at the coefficient diagram. Ayan. From 0.2, naging 0.3, so bumaba pa siya. Okay? And then, ilayo pa natin yung displacement ng soil. Let's say, ang delta L natin ay naging 60 mm or this is 0.02 H. In this case, yung horizontal pressure natin ay 19.2. Ibig sabihin, mas tinulak pa niya lalo yung wall. So, horizontal all over vertical is now 0.4. And then, eto na siya. So, lalong bumaba yung ating red or yung coefficient. Okay? Yan. So, nandun na siya sa may markang X. Katapat na niya. And then, to the point na, let's say, i-move pa natin further away etong wall. So, naging 120 mm na. In this case, yung horizontal pressure is hindi na siya nag-increase. Okay? Nag-retained na siya sa 19.2. Pero, yung displacement mo, lumaki. So, may property yung soil na kahit gaano kalaki ang displacement mo, magme-maintain pa rin yung horizontal pressure. Okay? So, ito, let's say, ang displacement naging 0.04 H or 120 mm. Pero yung horizontal pressure niya, retained siya, no? From 60 mm na displacement, 19.2 ang horizontal, tapos naging 120 mm ang displacement, still, your horizontal pressure maintains at 19.2. Ngayon, in this case, ang coefficient, active coefficient natin ay 0.4 na. Hindi na siya magva-vary. Okay? Hindi na siya lalaki pa ng 0.4. Ibig sabihin, constant na yan na 0.4. Pero, yung distance mo ng displacement, lumalaki siya. Ang tawag dyan ay active failure condition. Ibig sabihin, your shear plane now is developed. Yan. At, so, ito na ngayon yung drawing niya. Shear plane is developed. Ibig sabihin, yung soil natin is talagang nag-slide na. Mapapansin nyo, dito ngayon yung shear plane niya ay hindi na siya broken line. Unlike dito sa taas, yung shear plane niya ay broken line. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa nag-i-slide yung soil. Hindi pa nagbe-behave as cone. Okay? So, ayan na. And then, mapapansin nyo rin na yung drawing ko dito, let's say, since nag-slide away na siya, yung soil mo is parang bumaba na siya ng konti. So, yan ang tinatawag na active failure condition. So, ang condition niyan, ibig sabihin, yung coefficient mo, constant na siya sa 0.4 kahit gaano mo kalayo i-displace. Now, this is the movement required for development. Ngayon, yung dinevelop natin dito sa active is etong failure condition. Yan yung dinevelop natin. Ibig sabihin, nag-slide na yung lupa, bumigay na yung lupa, gumuho na yung lupa. Yan yung na-develop. Ngayon, para mag-develop yan, for active condition, ang delta L sub A or yung horizontal displacement is equal to H all over 100 for stiff clay. Ngayon, ano yung H all over 100 na yan? Let's say, ang H natin ay 3 meters. So, 3,000 divided by 100, and that is 30 millimeters. And that is for stiff clay. Let's say, ang soil natin ay soft clay. Ito, H all over 50. So, let's say ang H natin ay 3 meters. So, 3,000 divided by 50 is equal to 60 millimeters. Ngayon, balikan natin tong ating figure. So, ang H natin originally ay 3 meters. Tapos, dito, so that is 3,000 divided by 50 is 60 millimeters. Ibig sabihin, at this state, ibig sabihin, mag-start na tayong mag-reach ng failure condition. Ibig sabihin, at this state, madedevelop na yung failure, Yan. Nadedevelop na yung active failure. Ibig sabihin, anything beyond 60 is, na siya, active failure na siya. So, yan lang yung ibig sabihin nito. So, meron iba-ibang value ng H all over 500, H all over 1,000, H all over 50 for different types of soil. So, ang ginamit kong demonstration dito is soft clay, by the way. Kaya mapapansin nyo, ang range ng coefficient ko dito ay 0.2 to 0.4. Hindi ka na pwedeng tumas pa sa 0.4. Ngayon, since yung movement ng wall is away from the soil, punta naman tayo sa passive condition or yung wall moves towards the soil. So originally,